Morning everyone, and welcome to another daily update from Family Exodus. We hope you are well today on this Thursday morning. We are here with BJ and Dr. Ari. Hello. We are at the vet because we are getting ready to have his tooth removed. I know, it's sad. Buddy boy woke up, I think Saturday. He wasn't feeling too well. And the other dog was looking in his mouth and was licking the sore spot over and over again. And then she basically alerted us to an issue with him. And so we tried to touch the area and he wouldn't let us really touch it. He started going off on us, and that's not really like him. So we looked in his mouth, and he had a cracked tooth that was really rotten, and it stinks so bad. So we brought him to the vet. I know, buddy. And they said to bring him back after taking antibiotics, and that they would assess whether they need to take it out today. I'm pretty sure they're going to take it out. But before we get all the way into the video, I would like for you to please subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment, and share if you can. So, Dr. Ari. Good morning, young lady. Good morning, Fashnawo. Yeah.
Let's go.
He's saying, let's go. Let's get this over with. He had his antibiotics, yes? Yes, so she's been doing a great job taking care of him and making sure he's okay. Sorry for all the barking, guys. Yeah, he's not very happy about this. I'll walk away from him. But we also have Mama G with us this morning. Mama G and Miss Diva in the back there. She's just coming along for the ride. Yep. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what you need to do to bring your pets to the Gambia, because I know that has not been covered too well yet. So what you first need to do is you need to see if your dog is equipped to travel internationally on a plane. Most dogs are, and if they're not, they have to go with like a special crate and a special service. So check with your veterinarian, look on the list. I think it's the dogs with the shorter stouts in their noses. There's a loose dog coming this way. So maybe walk over there with BJ so there's no issues. Thank you. Check that website out to make sure that your dog can travel. Okay, underneath the plane. If not, if your dog is small, like BJ and Indy were, they can ride on the plane with you. So the first steps you need to do is get your pet vaccinated. Depending on what country you're going to, they always need to have their rabies. They always need to have their diphtheria. And they need a clean bill of health to travel, okay? So you're going to want to go and see your vet. The next thing that's going to happen is your vet is going to sign off on a USDA form, and then they're going to send it to the USDA to get what is called a pet passport stamp. So they're going to, the USDA official, the veterinarian, is going to sign the paperwork, and they're going to give it a stamp. On this paperwork, it's going to state where you're going, where you're coming from. It's going to have the rabies vaccination date on it, and it's going to have the Bold sticker on it. I think I said that already, but yeah, it's going to have that information on it. Most countries also now require that you have your dog microchipped. Okay. I know people have things about microchips, you know, in human beings and stuff. But the dogs, they absolutely will not allow your pets to travel, at least the dogs and the cats, without the microchip. Let me not speak on the cats, because we're going to take the cat from here to America because she's going to school with Dr. Ari. So, let me just take that statement back about the kitty cat. I don't know if they need a microchip. I do know that she doesn't need one to go to America right now, so there may not be an issue with the kitty cat. The dog does need a microchip to come to leave the U.S. So they're going to have the microchip must be registered. So if you're at the vet and they need new vaccines, you must also get them microchip. Depending on who your vet is, that may change the price for you. But for 2 dogs, for us, that whole process cost about $500. Updated vaccines and microchips and the stamp. Okay, it ended up costing me quite like maybe $75 more, because there was a mix-up where the USDA veterinarian actually didn't sign my paperwork. She put an electronic signature, and that wasn't going to work at the airport. So we had to drive to the state capitol the day before we were meant to depart for New York and get that signature. So it worked out, but that was some last minute work that we were not accounting for that we had to do because someone messed up. All right, so once you do that, once you have located a flight that you want to take, you must then call the airline. You're not going to reserve those tickets on the internet. You're going to do it over the phone, because you have to make sure that there is space available on your plane for your pet. So you have to call them and let them know that you want to take a flight to Gambia or whatever country it is, and you've seen this flight this day and this time, and you want to know if there is space available for your dog or your cat. And they will tell you yes or no. In our case, there was space for our 2 dogs, so we were able to make the reservations over the phone at that time, and we didn't have any additional issues with that. The cost of a dog's ticket, if they are riding with you in the cabin, is half of the price of your seat. All right, so if your flight is $500, then the cost to ride with your pet is about $250, and depends on the airline. We flew with Air Portugal, so TAP, and the price was half of whatever our ticket was. So we've covered the vets, the vaccines, microchipping. We've covered USDA. We've covered plane ticket. Now we'll talk about making your pet comfortable. You must have the airline approved carrier. So if they're going under the plane, you'll need a different kind of carrier than what I know about. I know it has to be enough room for them to stand up, turn around in there with a food bowl and maybe a blanket inside. They cannot wear their leashes inside of it, because they may get caught and there may be a choking issue. So that's what happens if you have a carrier that goes under the plane. If you are riding with your plane with your pet with you in the cabin, you'll have to have a arm strapped or like a stroller device. It has to be airline approved now. Make sure it says that fits them, and they're all weight restricted. So make sure you buy the one that is for your pet. It's going to be able to neatly slide under the seat in front of you, and that's where they prefer for you to house your animal. Now, during our flight over here was not that packed, and the airline, the stewardess on the plane, they were nice enough to allow us to let our dogs out for just a few minutes so that they could drink. They were remaining calm. She said as long as they're quiet, they can come out for a few minutes just so they can, feel normal. And that's what they did. Nobody knew there were 2 dogs on the plane. I mean, no one. We got off the plane and people were walking by us and they were seeing the dog carriers and they were saying stuff like, Oh my God, I never knew there were 2 dogs on the plane. They were quiet this entire time because they were. Our dogs were well trained. So, yeah, they were good dogs. But they were also, one of them is anxious. This one right here, he's very anxious. So the vet did give him like what's the equivalent to a Valium, to take maybe like an hour to 30 minutes to an hour before our flight. And then he was pretty much calm and quiet, so because he was asleep. But he's still well trained, and even when people walked by, he didn't bark at them or anything like that. So that was good for us. So we're still here waiting for the vet to come so we can get this over with this morning. You know, I think I covered it. Here comes the vet now. So just stay right there. Here comes the vet now. Stay right there, BJ. So we're going to drop this little guy off. And then we're going to wait for him to be ready to go home. And then we'll give you guys an update of how he's doing. Now, since we're going in, though, I believe I've covered everything, guys. If you have any questions, please remember to just send us an email or write it in the comment section. And that's about it, guys. So before we go, we're going to say peace, baby.